Today, friends, we are talking about Need for Speed 2021 and how EA has just put it in the bin. Just like that. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a bit more raw. I'm going to be talking literally straight my opinions, my thoughts on them basically pushing Need for Speed aside, even though they closed Ghost to give Need for Speed to Criterion. Criterion have now been taken off of the Need for Speed project for a year. I'm annoyed. I wanted to go through this article with you guys because it just makes sense. I've gone through a little bit of it. There's a lot of fluff, a lot of EA rubbishy fluff that you really don't need to know about. But ultimately, they've delayed it to help with development for the next Battlefield game. So Criterion Games is going to support EA DICE on Battlefield, which will debut on PlayStation 5 this fall. How on earth this game, Battlefield, launches in this fall? Why on earth? So clearly Need for Speed is getting pushed to second place, which as a fan of Need for Speed is really, really frustrating. Battlefield is shaping up to be great, blah, 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 blah. Just to give you an idea, which is so... It makes it more annoying than it already is. Sweden doesn't have a lockdown. They can work in an office. They've been able to work in an office this whole time. The UK has had a lockdown for over a year, and we've not been able to work in offices properly for a year. Now, EA clearly doesn't have very good remote working placement, and clearly that's part of the reason as to why this is a thing. The virus, of course, I can't blame EA for the virus, but I can blame them for is doing this stupid move. Clearly, Need for Speed was going to come out this year. They've delayed it for a year. Why not delay it till bloody March? If you're delaying, delaying I'm fine with, but coming out and saying, we're gonna delay it for the sake of Battlefield, of course that's gonna annoy me. Of course I'm gonna be wound up by that. And another thing that really makes it worse is that they say they don't want competing racing games coming out from themselves this year. There's already a game coming out this year. Formula 1's on an annual license. So the Need for Speed game we get this year, don't worry, there's going to be a racing game. This year, you don't get Need for Speed. This year, don't worry. You get F1! F1, wow. Thanks so much. Can't wait to do some street racing in the F1. Am I annoyed? Can you tell? Just a little bit annoyed. Just a little bit. The only positive news that came out of this is, of course, they got some more details about Need for Speed. Yeah, Need for Speed 2022. Wow, I am so excited. Gran Turismo has been delayed from Corona. It don't look like we're going to be getting a Forza this year, and if we do, it's not going to be what we would hope. It's going to be another rehash of the current game. And no Need for Speed. What do we get? F1? Like a spot there? You like us? Fine. So in that case, you decide, all right, well, why don't they just update Need for Speed here? Give us one more to give us some content. Just add something to it. Give us a little bit of spice for those fans that are waiting. Surely they're just working on the handling for the next Battlefield game. Surely this big studio of people that have moved to work on car games has not been just brought over to work on the handling of Battlefield, but the whole team, right? Surely drop an expansion for Heat. You drop an expansion for Hot Pursuit. Hot Pursuit is almost 12 years old, and you can drop an update for that game, but not for Need for Speed Heat. And in the next few days, the week after, you tell us, oh no, by the way, Need for Speed is not coming out this year. Of course I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to be frustrated. You're prioritizing Battlefield. Of course, it's a better seller for you. The whole point of having Codemasters and stuff was to have more staff. Sure, I completely get it. I understand it. Now F1 can compete with Need for Speed. What the flying... Because it didn't compete when you didn't own Codemasters. That doesn't make any sense. I do not buy F1 every year. I will play it. I may enjoy it a little bit, but it's completely a different type of game. Completely. Oh, yeah, okay. Look, listen, I'm going to say... Delaying of games is usually sure, it makes sense. I get it. It's for the better. We're going to get better content. It's going to be a better game. All these usual things that are thrown. But you can't expect me or anyone in the community to be like this if you tell us that, oh, by the way, we're delaying it for the sake of a first-person shooter. Most of us don't play first-person shooters as much as most people. We are playing Need for Speed and the like because we enjoy those type of games more so. You give us, you close Ghost Games, one of the studios that finally understood what we wanted from a Need for Speed game, and then they decide, oh yeah, Goodbye, Criterion. No working Need for Speed. Did I not, from the beginning, say to you that it would have been a better move for them to keep Ghost as they were, keep making games because they finally understood and they finally did well, and Need for Speed Heat was the best Need for Speed in a decade. Keep them working. Form the studio. Hell, you bought Codemasters. You could have done this. You know you could have done this earlier. You know that the talks were happening much longer before this. So why didn't they create the studio while Ghost was still making the games? It's in Sweden. There's been no lockdown. They have been able to work properly this whole time on Battlefield. And of course, they would have been able to on Need for Speed as well. Talk about the positives. Talk about the positives. What about the positives, Theo? Are you going to talk about the positives? Alright, positives. What do we play for this year? Like, I'm just thinking of all racing gamers here. I'm not just talking Need for Speed. Like, you can play Need for Speed for a month if you care. Like, you could not play it at all. But for anyone that likes any form of racing game, to see this priority, like the priority of a racing game be pushed aside for the sake of Battlefield, even though this game has unfair development advantages, Battlefield was planned to come out anyway. You can't put Criterion, a full game studio, on to Battlefield. And if you can, why are they not doing that time onto Need for Speed, their game? I even know what to say anymore. It's just, it's so frustrating. We finally had a good thing with Need for Speed Heat. If it had constant updates, it would have been fantastic. We had a great game. It would have been fantastic with updates. I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. As I said, this is raw reactions. Am I going to regret some of the things I say? I'm going to say on Twitter, yes. On here, no. This is me. This is how I feel right now. Okay? I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. What's the point of even acquiring Codemasters? They're not going to do anything for this whole time. Like, let's say that, let's say that this is a thing. This is now transpired. There's nothing we can do. We're just now going to have to sit on the back burner because, oh, racing games, oh, who cares? Who cares? Let's put them on the driving of the tanks. Tanky drivey, woo! No, listen. This has transpired. All we can do now is hope that Gran Turismo isn't delayed hugely. And that's the racing game we get. And if you don't have a PS5... oh, well, you lose. Who cares about you? Buy Battlefield instead, because you'll enjoy driving the tanks. Criterion made the tanks drive like an RSR. Woo! Don't worry. Right here, it says, after 3 lackluster entries by Ghost Games, either someone can't count, and there's, like, 3 lackluster... Let's say they mean 3 lackluster games. What are they talking about? Need for Speed Rivals, Payback. Like, come on, right? You really gonna say that? You're really gonna say... You have no clue, clearly, because there's no opinion piece in here. There's nothing. There's no, like, this will be unfortunate. It's a racing games. This will be blah, blah, blah. Like, the disconnect. The disconnect. Like, I'm not happy. I'm really not happy. I don't understand how you can pull them from Need for Speed to work on Battlefield, because all they're gonna do, like, sure, like, even if they're doing more than handling, let's be real, they're gonna be doing more than handling. Like, that's the point. But the specialty should be driving. They should be gearing up for a racing game. You've just acquired Codemasters. Use Codemasters to help develop it, but they don't know the tools. I don't care. I don't care. You can't... I'm sure you're sharing my frustration. I think we should just tell EA that this is not okay. And I think that's fair. I think they need to understand that racing games are just important as their Battlefield games. And stop wasting talent. You've gone from saying you've got no talent, which is disrespectful to all those developers that you had in Ghost, to now saying that, oh, no. Racing games don't really matter that much. We want... This should be tanky! Ooh, EA expects the next Battlefield to deliver, other than to call the game a love letter to our fans and one we want to be great. But stuff Need for Speed! Who cares? Who cares about the racing BBs? Get in the bean! Alright, that's my pump for today. I need a... Peace.